Greetings, I am Mr. Grimreaper 412, and welcome to another edition of Rip from the Silverscreen. I am here again with Dark Knight 97, and we're going to take a look at the 1973 horror film classic, The Exorcist. This film was directed by William Friedkin. It was produced and written by written by William Peter Blatty. It is based on a book by the same guy. The film stars Ellen Burstyn, Max von Sydow, Lee J. Cobb, Katie Wynn, Jack McGowan. I can't say his name right. Jason Miller, and the ever so phenomenal Linda Blair. We're gonna talk about this and go through all this here. This, I believe, is the first of three. I think they made three of these, if I remember correctly. I think they made three of these.
1, 2, 3, 4, actually made 5. Exorcist, Exorcist 2, Heretic, The Exorcist 3, Exorcist Beginning, and the mini prequel to The Exorcist.
Okay. So I wanted to know what it does. So there's basically there's like 5 of these.
5.
And apparently for some strange reason, this got mixed reviews. From people that thought it sucked, and from people that thought it was scary as shit. Now this film is one of those devil possessed type films that I only watched this once, and I gotta say I will never watch this movie again. He's never seen it, thank God. Dark Knight has never seen it, but I'm gonna tell you guys. But we're gonna go through the plot. He'll probably get an idea of what this movie really is from the plot. We're gonna go through it. So we're gonna go through this here. The film starts out. Langston Marin, a veteran Catholic priest who performed an exorcism in the 1950s, is on an archaeological dig in the ancient city of Hatra in Iraq. There he finds an amulet that resembles a statue of Pazuzu, a demon of ancient origins with whose history Marin is familiar with. In Georgetown, actress Chris McNeil is living on location with her 12-year-old daughter Regan, played by Linda Blair. She is starring in a film about student activism directed by her friend and associate Brooke Dennings. After playing with a Ouija board, which is something you shouldn't do, period, and contacting a supposedly imaginary friend whom she calls Captain Howdy, Regan begins acting strangely, including making mysterious noises, stealing, constantly using obscene language, and exhibiting abnormal strength. Chris hosts a party during which Regan comes downstairs unannounced, tells one of the guests, an astronaut, that he will die in space, and then urinates on the floor. Later, Regan's bed begins to shake violently, adding further to her mother's horror. Chris consults a number of physicians, but Dr. Klein and his associates find nothing physiologically wrong with her daughter, despite Regan undergoing a battery of diagnostic tests. One night when Chris is out, Burke Dennings is babysitting a heavily sedated Regan. Chris returns to hear he has died falling out the window. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Oh. Wait. Oh, okay. Although this is assumed to have been an accident given Burke's history of heavy drinking, his death is investigated by Lieutenant William Kinderman. Kinderman interviews Chris. He also consults psychiatrist Father Damien Carras, recently shaken after the death of his frail mother. The doctors, thinking that Reagan's aberrations are mostly psychotic in origin, recommend an exorcism be performed. Chris arranges a meeting with Karas after Reagan speaks backwards in different voices and exhibits scars in the form of the words "help me" on her stomach. Karas is convinced that Reagan is possessed. Believing her soul is in danger, he decides to perform an exorcism. The experienced Marin is selected by performing the actual exorcism with Karas assisting. Both priests witness Reagan perform a series of bizarre, vulgar acts. They attempt to exorcise the demon, but the stubborn entity toys with them, especially Karas. Karas shows weakness and is dismissed by Marin, who attempts the exorcism alone. Karas enters the room later and discovers Marin has died of a heart attack. After failing to revive Marin, the enraged Karas confronts the mocking, laughing spirit, wrestles Reagan's body to the ground at Karas' invitation, leaves Reagan's body and possesses Karas. In a moment of self-sacrifice, the priest throws himself out the window before being compelled to harm Reagan. He's mortally injured. Father Dyer, an old friend of Karas, happens upon the scene and administers the last rites to his friend. A few days later, Reagan, now back to her normal self, prepares to leave Los Angeles with her mother. Although Reagan has no apparent recollection of her possession, she is moved by the sight of Dyer's clerical collar to kiss him on the cheek. Kinderman, who narrowly misses their departure, befriends the Father Dyer as he investigates Karas' death. And that's the end of The Exorcist. So, yeah. So, for many of you who are wondering where most of the stuff from this movie is from, well, if you guys remember a certain comedy film called Scary Movie, basically some of the stuff from this film is basically is parodied and stuff like that. So, but okay, let's talk about the film itself. This film is horrifying. That's just putting it mildly. This film is horrifying. There is a lot of stuff that there's a lot of stuff in this film that scares the dog shit out of you, especially when the little girl becomes when Reagan becomes possessed by the devil, by this demon. The way they did her, the way they put it together, the way they did this film was scary as hell. Was scary as shit. I'm trying to remember here. So, if you guys remember, there's a part in the movie where she does a spider walk down the stairs. She does Reagan possessed by Pazuzu does which is a dumb demon name, to be honest. Does a spider walk down the stairs. Apparently, this got deleted. This was a deleted scene, but I'm trying to think what did they do? Okay, see here. Okay, so there was a lot of controversy concerning this film. Due to its alleged use of subliminal imagery, with this, as far as special effects, And so some people have said that during the making of this film that the set was haunted. At least that's what I heard. At least that's what I had heard. But I don't know if there's any truth to the set being haunted after when the film was when they had made the film. So but yeah, The Exorcist is the most scariest damn film, bar none, in the history of horror. Especially how this little girl is being victimized by this demonic force.
Do I take the inside of it out?
It takes and it's gonna take an exorcism to get her back to normal again. And you see a bunch of horror aspects in this film. And Linda Blair as Reagan was really, really good, and all that. And dude, I'm surprised you hadn't seen this movie at all. Period. And I commend you for not seeing it, because this movie is scary as dog shit. So, tell me, what is your, after hearing the plot, what is your thoughts?
Put too many pillows in the bed. My son.
I'm kind of glad that I never have seen it. I never will see it, because I'm not movies like this. Are not my cup of tea. I can't handle movies like that. About with freaky stuff like that, dude. It'll pick me up, Now, not saying this movie sucks or anything, and I don't know if you out there think, oh, well, it may be scary, but, I'm not saying it sucks. I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is I never will see it, because I would not want to be freaked out. Because I can't really watch movies about, the Exorcist. I will never sit there.
When I was in the hospital, I used to stay home $2,000.
But this movie is classic.
They keep sending me lists.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
And so.
I can't afford to do nothing.
So this is, if you're into, this kind of movie, well, that's your thing. You're into it. And this is our opinion, my opinion. After reading the plot here, think of that girl be possessed. Whoa. Yeah, makes me glad that I never seen it and I never will see it. But you guys wanna, if you guys are into that, well, that's okay with me. Whatever. But all in all, this is talk about old school horror films. This is old school horror film in my eyes.
Yeah. So The Exorcist is a horror film. Is a horror film that you should watch only just once. Because even back then, people got scared at this movie. People were scared shitless from the Exorcist. And Linda Blair Linda Blair scared people so bad. You could hear. I remember watching a documentary on this, and she said that people got so damn scared they were literally screaming. They were literally screaming in the theater, and some people ended up getting up and just running out of the theater, scared out of their damn mind. Which I don't blame them whatsoever, especially the horrific imagery involved in this film. Is this film still a horror classic? You goddamn right it is. And that's why I give it a 10 out of 10. The Exorcist was one of the most scariest films that ever come out in the 70s. It still holds the top. It still holds the top brand as one of the most scariest damn films in the history of horror. And that's saying something. They're saying how much of a legend this movie really is. And I would say, if y'all want to watch something, if y'all want to watch this, watch it. But if you're gonna watch it, make sure you have the lights on.
That's all we can say.
That's all I can really say about this. But because The Exorcist is the most scariest damn film ever. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think and all that. I am Mr. Grimreaper 2, and I'll see you on the afterlife. Peace.